Hey everybody, we're here today's episode of Lake Lingo, bringing you the places around Richland Chambers Lake. We're here today with John Coulter. John is the owner and operator of Richland Chambers Hardware and Lumber. And let me tell you from personal experience, because I do a lot of stuff, this place got anything you need. And if he doesn't have it or can't get it, you don't need it, as a friend of mine used to tell me. No, anyway, so we're here today with John and at the store. And seriously, this place has got everything. He actually was selling me today on some new material for my boat dock, which is probably going to happen as a result of this trip. But anyways, so John, and your wonderful wife Kay's not with us today. It's a shame. But anyways, so what brought y'all to Richland Chambers? Why did you come here?
Well, we wanted to buy a lake house. We had a lake house in Lake Palestine about 10 years ago. Okay. Sold it, regretted selling it, wanted to get back into the lake house lifestyle. Yeah. So we found Richland Chambers Lake. We bought a house here about 7 years ago, and we were just weekenders, commuting back and forth from Dallas to our second home here. And there was a hardware store which was 60 seconds away, and I love hardware stores. And I frequented the hardware store quite a bit, and I would speak with the previous owner, and I told him, hey, if you ever want to sell this business, let me know. I want to be first in line. Oh, wow. So he said, sure. And about 5 years later, he finally caught me in the parking lot, scampered out there. He's like, you still want to buy this store? And I said, yeah, sure. Because I always tell my wife, if I can figure out a way to make a living down here at the lake, and we just have one house, we live down here, and we own our own business, then I'm in. So spoke with the hardware store owner at that time. That was Les, right? That was Les. Yeah. And he owned it for 14 years. He was ready to retire. And I guess we got him at the right time. And
so how long ago was that?
3 years ago. We've owned the store since March of 2019.
Wow, that flies by. So this business was already up and running, and it seems to me that you've even taken it further. So not only do y'all have nuts and bolts and hardware, but we're standing here, anything you need for a boat dock, a lake pump, irrigation, anything that happens in a lake house, John's got it in stock, most of it, or you can get it pretty quick. So tell us about, I discovered not long ago that you had range cubes back there when I was coming through and feeding cows. And so tell us what prompted you and what all do you got back there?
Well, back there, like you said, we have range cubes. What I like to do is I talk with customers, and they'll frequently say, well, do you have this? And if I don't have it, I make the decision as to if it's a good item to stock. Right. If it's an item that I don't feel is going to sell, then I won't stock it. But if I feel like it will sell, I'll go ahead and stock it. So I've had customers ask for, we've always stocked corn, deer corn. Yeah. But I've had a couple of customers ask for cattle cubes, which are the range cubes. Yeah. So I started stocking that, and it's a great seller. Deer pellets has become a great seller, and just so on and so forth. So like I said, if I think it's going to sell, then I'll stock it. And I've probably added a couple hundred new items in the past couple of years, and I think it's just part of being a good businessman to do that.
Right. Well, you're listening to your people and listening to their feedback. So, one of the questions is, what's the most popular thing you sell? But since this is such a seasonal place we live in, you got to have something in the winter that flies off the shelf, something in the spring, something in the fall, and the summer. So tell me about the things you zero in on in times of year and stuff.
Well, for instance, for this time of year, I really I carry a lot of inventory because March is my biggest month. That's when the weather starts turning good. That's when the weekenders start coming out. That's when people start buying stuff for the lawn and garden and what have you. Okay. So in the springtime, I stock just about everything more than any other time of the year. So I stock a lot of lawn and garden. People start
fertilizers and stuff. And you got river rocks and all sorts of stuff.
All kinds of stone. A lot of people start working on their boat docks.
Sure.
They've gone through the winter time. Boat docks might get beat up by the storms. They need new wood. I stock the wood pretty heavy. When the summer ends, my inventory levels drop down a little bit because business drops down a little bit.
Sure.
And in the winter time, it's probably at its lowest point. So.
But you've always got on your sign the fall stuff, your freezer cover, your faucet covers, and all that kind of stuff.
Cold weather comes, I've got everything to protect your faucets and whatever.
So that's cool. So what time, what does a normal day for you, John Coulter, look like? Just a normal weekday. Like when do you get here?
So
your phone never stops, I'm sure.
Phone never stops. Should have never given out my cell phone number. It'll probably ring it again in just a second. Normal day. We work 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 9 to 3 on Saturdays. We'll close on Sundays.
Okay.
Get here at 7:30, open up the store. Usually have a couple people waiting for us already. They're usually contractors because they want to get an early start.
Sure.
Open up store, and it's just busy all day long. And I've got a great crew of people. Probably during the week, I staff about 4 people in addition to myself.
Oh, wow.
And we just sell wood and hardware all day long. And the phone rings off the hook. I've got a little niche here. The nearest hardware store is one that's across the lake, which is about 15, 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
And their inventory is not near
even
as
close to what
not
you
even
have.
close.
Yeah, not even close.
And so a lot of people aren't going to frequent that store. The next to biggest store is probably that people would commonly go to buy parts, at least contractors would be Home Depot, and that's 35 minutes away.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at stuff that Home Depot doesn't even sell.
Right.
And even online for boat docks and
Right.
boat tanks and gas tanks, everything. Yeah. Right.
But and a lot of people do not want to have to drive the 35 minutes there, 35 minutes back.
The long and short is John has got anything you need. He specializes for his community, listens to his customers, and one trip here convince you. So we'll do real quick. You don't do a lot of advertising, but I will give you a big shout out and thank you for your support of the Southern Oaks Fire Department. Chili supper and bake sale. We were there, and man, oh, that's right. I got one of your gift certificates. I'm gonna come use door prize.
Probably today.
And so I got 2 more questions.
Okay.
What would you like to see out here at the lake happen in the next?
Well, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if there were more restaurants.
Yeah.
A lot of residents. I know myself personally, my wife. We go home. We're getting tired of cooking. We do the home chef thing. We cook every night. It'd be nice just to go to a restaurant and just pick up a meal and what have you. I'd like to see more restaurants.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little more building going on. I know contractors like home builders, they're all backed up. They're having trouble getting parts. They're having trouble finding subs. So I'd like to see some more home builders come out here and be able to actually
bring their resources.
Yeah.
And one last question. What's your favorite movie that you can watch over and over and over?
I hate to say this because it's not going to maybe nice light is going to shine on me, but it's Dumb and Dumber. I love that movie.
I love it. That's good. I like it too.
Every time it comes on TV, I have to watch it, and my wife says, "What do you see in this movie?"
Okay, so I love it, by the way, too. So we're right here on the south side, y'all, on FM 416. What's your actual address?
381 FM 416.
381 FM 416. So basically, come down by the dam, hang a right, and go 3 or 4 miles, and John's here on the left. So yeah, stop in and just browse through, check it out. Even if you don't need something, you'll probably buy something. All right, thank y'all a bunch.
Thanks.
Thanks, John. That was fun.